Hey, welcome back to Talking Hawks. Guess what? It's just me right now. Daz's power's gone out, but it looks like we've got him back. Hey, welcome back, Daz. Hey, we're back here at Talking Hawks, the largest fan base podcast on the planet for the Hawks. Mate, how are you?
Yeah, going well, thank you. I am not 100% sure what's going to happen next. This is going to be a very unpredictable episode for me because the power went out at about 8 o'clock for about 45 seconds. So anything can happen. Might be a short.
We know it's rough there in Afghanistan. So it's good to see you there still, mate, on the sat phone. And yeah, you may be cutting in and out. But hey, I've got the fans to keep me company, and that's all right. What a week. I want to hear from you guys. Were you gutted? Were you upset? Were you happy? We effectively helped the Bulldogs get into the finals. I was hoping we could ruin their party.
Yeah, I'm with you, actually. And consider I've got a few Carlton mates as well, and I don't think they're going to recover for a while.
I was pretty gutted for Carlton, mate. I actually was hoping they'd get in, but I did say this: if they didn't win, I don't think against Collingwood, I don't think they deserve to get in the finals. So it's Collingwood, mate. I don't know how many 1 point or one kick wins they've won this year. They did it against us. I think it's something like 5. It's astonishing how they're able to win those games in the death, and I think it'll serve them well during finals. I think they'll go deep.
Yeah, I think 10 games, 10 wins they've had by under 2 goals, which is extraordinary, isn't it? And yeah, I'm a bit different than you. I don't think it holds up during.
He's cut out. He doesn't think it holds up during finals. I do. It's pressure. Finals is pressure. But, you know, we'll have to agree to disagree on that one, mate. So, and it's a beautiful face we've got there of you frozen. Thanks, Daz. Anyway, hopefully he can come back soon, back into the stream. It's nice to have you guys here. It's wonderful. So let's see. Fred was the first one here. Good to see you, Fred Smith. Looks like Daz is having an attempt. So looks like the bombing has ended in Afghanistan. Is that right, Daz? No, not quite yet. So anyway. All right. So Barry Jolly, good to see you there. Frank Con Fragulis, good to see you there, mate. And all right, so here we go. Barry Jolly's got his first comment in here. Hi there, the 40-man squad for the Australian team with 1 Hawks pick. Sicily is in. More should have been in, and not Cameron of Brisbane. He goes missing too many times. So I would have loved to have seen more. I thought he deserves at least a nod. I agree with you there, Barry. It's tough, though, to pick a Hawk outside of Sicily to go in the All-Australian this year. So, but yes, it would have been lovely to see more. I don't know if I'd agree with you on him replacing Cameron. Are you back with us there, Daz?
Yeah, I think I'm here, mate.
Yeah, we're talking about the All-Australian squad here, the squad of 40. So Barry's saying that it's a bit rough that Moore didn't get picked. Any thoughts on that? All right. Well,
yeah, I'm stiff that I'm getting. I mean, Jordan Dawson and Sam Dock didn't make it, so
true. Yeah,
bit rough. Charlie Cameron deserves a spot and probably gets in a team for mine.
Yeah, it's Punky Bruce. We've kicked more goals for us than anyone this year. Again, for his the 5th year for the Hawks, he'd be getting up there with Jason Dunstall. So thanks for sharing that stat with me earlier today, Daz. So I find it a bit rich. He kicked 50 goals. How's he not in the All-Australian this year?
It's a good question. I don't have the answer, but it's a good question. Probably the small forwards don't really get the love in the All-Australian team.
Yeah, but what about Cameron?
And the half forwards usually get midfielders, don't they? And Bolton and Petrarca probably get the.
Fair enough. All right. We keep losing you, Daz, but I'm going to do my best without you, mate, with the cutting in and out. Good to see you here, Brett. So nice to have you with us. Cody, nice to have you here. John, good to see you, mate. So a lot of old faces here. I know I haven't been on here for a while, but it's wonderful to be back with the Hawks group. Tom, good to see you. California Eagle. Oof, haven't seen that one before, but nice to be here. So, look, if you're with us and you love watching Talking Hawks, give us a like. Hey, it does help with the algorithms and all that sort of thing. It's nice to see you on here. Also, Daz, Matt, Chris and I got to go to the Hawks sponsor night. So that was only possible because of you guys. So we're really grateful for that. Got to meet all of the players, had a good chat with them. And we hit some of them up to come on Talking Hawks. So we're going to have some current players outside of the juniors, the ones that we sponsor, come on the show, which would be exciting for us over the coming season. So, look, love to hear what you guys would love to talk about today. Are you gutted like me, or are you happy that the year's over? I thought we had quite a good year. I think it's sort of a cue in the rack. When I met the boys at the sponsorship event, it was, I felt like they put the cue in the rack, but then they turned up on Sunday and they played their hearts out. So I was pretty impressed. Considering who was missing out of the team, it was actually quite an impressive effort that they made, and they were certainly playing to win. I didn't feel that any players put the cue in the rack on the day. So, yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about the year. Was it a good year? What worked, what didn't? If you got any thoughts, let's chuck them up. We'll try and get Daz back in. There's too much bombing going on in Afghanistan right now. I think he's taking heavy fire, so that's all right. All right, so Con's thrown it out. Promising signs this year. I agree. I was pretty impressed with the new attacking style that we had. I thought that we could. It's definitely refreshing instead of this slow, sluggish defensive, slow everything down. I love that Sam tried the new things with us. So we're pretty unlucky to lose those 3 games. If we had won those 3, could have been a different story. We might have been playing 4 finals against the Bulldogs instead of what we had. So it was a bit disappointing. But I think certainly next year it probably depends on the draft or the how we trade as to whether we'll move back up into finals this year. So let's see. I think so. Darren's saying I think we had a good year. Got game time into the kids. I agree. As soon as we get those young blokes up to those 50 games, guys like Dylan Moore, getting them a game into 50 games into players like Dylan Moore. Once they hit that 50. We're going to have some bloody good players on our hands. That's for sure. Good comment there, Daryl. Let's see. Brooke, I think our year has proven excellent. Leading into next year is looking great. I could not agree with you more there, Brooke. So Fender, he expected 8 wins. Yeah, okay, good. Thanks, Fender. It's not that optimistic. Let's see. So big steps forward for me, Mitch Lewis. Thanks, Dan. Dan's a loyal Talking Hawks helper, volunteer. We appreciate your efforts this year, Dan. You've done an outstanding job. Let's see. So Tom, Jack Petrus, I can't pronounce that. Sorry. Tom will be at the Hawks next year. Do you reckon? I guess, if we don't have any shady draft things taken from us, maybe that's the case. Can Jai Newcomb get the PCM from Sicily? That's a bloody good question. I'm wondering who you think will win the PCM this year. Who's got best and fairest? Jai Newcomb, you'd have to consider him to be a lock. You've got to, surely. It's either him or Sis. My Smoky though is who is it? My Smoky is let's see. He's in the back line and he's got Hodges' old number. So let me know who he thinks won the PCM this year. I had a chat to him. I said he's the most underrated player in the league. It's Dimmer. I definitely think that he's the next one. So tell me your thoughts. Who you reckon? Let's see. Brooks, 7 debut players. Awesome. Yep, I agree. Con thinks that transition's good. We definitely need more speed in the team. Mind you, I think we've got some pretty fast players. CJ is one of the most electric, exciting players. There's a couple of games, those last 2 games we had where he was out, he would have made a massive difference against Rioli, and I reckon he would have shut him down, and it would have made a big, big difference if he was in the team. I tell you what, that new bloke, the blonde-headed kid last night, Sheehan, I'm trying to remember his name now. So he was exciting. It just his work rate reminded me of Tuopolo. So I don't know. I think that kid's got a good future with it. I saw him the week before at Box Hill, and he worked his backside off. So I wasn't surprised he's made it to the team. I think it was a great call from Sam Mitchell to put him in. So let's see. We got another visitor here. We got the ring in, Mitch. How are you, mate?
Brad, how are we, mate? Fans,
fantastic, mate. I think they might be getting sick of listening to me. I think we might have lost Daz to heavy fire in Afghanistan there. So it's nice for you to come in as a ring in.
All good, mate. I was just sitting downstairs watching the show, and I saw Daz was having some issues, so I ran upstairs. As you can see, I'm huffing and puffing. Sent him a message and said, "Mate, send me the link." So, g'day, fans. I thought I'd come give you a top out. Go easy on me.
Thanks. My throat's getting a bit sore. I'm not used to this. Saunders, that was it. Thanks for the rescue. Sorry, wrong one. Tom, yeah, it was Saunders. I keep pressing the wrong one. Cody, stop commenting, you guys. I can't click on the right one. Thank you. Saunders, Mighty Mouse. Mate, how outstanding was Saunders?
He was good. Kicked his first goal, which was really good to see, and set up Ben McAvoy absolutely beautifully. That
was epic. It was epic.
Yeah.
The first gamer passing to the last gamer.
Absolutely, mate. And it was funny in the last quarter. They were clearly looking for another one for Big Boy, and Saunders was doing his best to get it to him. So, mate, I thought it was a good performance.
I can definitely see why they picked that kid, like why Sam wanted him to play. His work rate is outstanding. He's exciting. And his ability to lift his eyes as well instead of just throw it on the boot. Man, that was I've never seen a first gamer. Well, I have seen a first gamer do that, but it's not common. So I'm expecting big things for that kid. So, yeah. Now, we still have Brockman to come back. Was Brockman out injured, was he?
Yeah, I think he's missed all year.
I know he's missed all year, but I didn't know it's because he's injured or it's just because he wasn't playing well.
Nah, he got put on the I think he got put on the long-term injury list like halfway through the year. I'm pretty sure it was Brockman. Don't know a lot about it, but yeah, he hasn't played all year. So just seeing a lot. President Mitch. G'day, guys. What I want to know, I know I had very little preparation tonight, guys, so I do apologise. What I would like to quickly ask from the fans, and a question for you as well, Brad.
Yep.
What was the best win for the year for the Hawks? Comments. You can have a quick think about that, Brad, and I'll hit to the fans in the comments. The best win all year out of the 8 of us. Just on Brockman, Brad. Fred Smith has gone with Brockman will not be seen at the Hawks again. So that's interesting.
Do you reckon he's trade bait?
Quite possibly. I don't know if there'd be, too many people that would be looking at him straight away, just being that he's missed all year. Love all the comments, guys. I think I haven't seen a single comment to say anything other than Geelong, and Geelong is absolutely the right answer on Easter Monday. That was as good as it gets.
Look, let me ask you, mate. What was your favourite win for the year?
Certainly Geelong. Cody's just said Easter Monday as well. I was at the game too. That was about as happy as I've been at a game of footy. Not necessarily watching a game of footy at home. Obviously, when we won the 3 flags, but in terms of being at a game of football, that was incredible. When we hit the front, I remember looking at Shane, who's my partner's dad. I looked at him and we're going to win this. And went off, and I think we kicked the last 2 or 3 goals of the game and won that. So just wanted to quickly jump in and ask you guys that, but we'll get back to the Doggies game. How did we think we finish off the year? I'm giving us a tick. We certainly pushed them right until the end. And I know you were mentioning before Daz jumped off that it was probably a pretty good performance and really had our chances to win the game.
Yeah, look, the fans are saying, sorry, mate, the fans are definitely, it's a resounding agreement with you, the Geelong game. It's pretty unbiased. It's hard for me not to agree. But I'd have to say the Brisbane game as well. There's something about the Brisbane game, just winning that, where they sit on the ladder. It was nice to get that win too. But look, I was a bit disappointed we didn't win. I was hoping we could have ruined their year. Would have been nice, and make another enemy, because it's fun having enemies in football. So, but then we would have been helping Carlton, and yes. I hate Carlton. As much as I love my mate to go for Carlton, I hate Carlton, and it's nice to see them fail again. It's just, I don't know, I just get some sort of joy. It's like you wring the tears out of their suffering followers, and it sustains me. It sustains me in the off season. So.
I thought that was pretty Carlton, but anyway, that's conversation for another time. Port Adelaide, second best win. That was a good win, Dynamo. You are right. Brisbane's the other standout for me. What do we think of the other debutants game? Again, I didn't see a whole lot of it. I was at work, so I only saw a bit.
Saunders, he was outstanding. Bloody outstanding.
Did long debut as well, I think. Did he play?
Did he? Shit, well, I didn't notice him. Sorry, mate. I only noticed Saunders with the bright blonde hair, screaming around the packs. Our other ruckman, Mitch. What's he? Is it? Sorry, guys. I'm a bit fuzzy. I haven't been drinking. Lynch. It's okay. Lynch, thank you, yeah. Lynch. Yeah. He did. I thought he did a great job, mate. Yeah. Lynch was playing like he wanted to pick up, Yeah, it's like he wanted to take over Ben McAvoy's job. It's like for when Reeves comes back, he's definitely got some competition for that ruck spot, number one ruck spot. After the way that Reeves played, I was really impressed. But mate, we still got some problems. Our midfield is really lacking. I'm sorry. We were losing clearances to the Bulldogs. Their midfield is bloody impressive, but we've got challenges in the midfield.
We do. It's been a factor all year. I think we're ranked last for clearances, and ranked pretty low. I think 16th or thereabouts for contested possession. So it's certainly going to be, I think, a target in not just the draft, but potentially the trade period as well. Just before I came on, Carl Amon has pretty much said. Has informed Port that he wants to explore free agency. Now, from all reports, that is pretty much a done deal that he's coming to Hawthorn. So he'll be a good addition, bit of outside pace for us, which is probably something that we're lacking. Very good user of the ball and can hit the scoreboard as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him if the mail is right. And then no doubt we'll be looking to possibly be active in the trade period. Don't know where that leaves some of our players. I know Jack Gunston's yet to re-sign. There's a couple of conversations around players like Mitchell, O'Meara. Personally, I like them in the side purely for experience. You can't have a team full of youth. You do need some people leading the way, but we'll see how that plays out in the next few weeks.
I'm with you, Mitch. Yeah, I agree with you. I'd hate to see Gunston go. I actually personally think Gunston will go to North, and I think he'll be loyal to Clarko. And I believe my inside mail is he may have been a bit upset with how the Clarko exit transpired. But it's so, and I don't think he'd be someone to just get over it and move on. And with Clarko going there, he'd be fishing for some quality people, particularly senior people to help the young guys. I reckon Gunston will be gone. I don't know if I said it on the show earlier in the year or last year, but I did predict that Clarko would go to North Melbourne. And look at me, it's good to be right. Sometimes I don't like being right. So, but I've been wrong. My predictions have been very wrong in the past, particularly when it comes to how many games we're going to win in the season. So don't hold me to that. But let me revel in the glory of that one prediction that did come true. So I reckon, I reckon Punky will stay. I reckon Shields is gone. Mate, who's going to be trade bait for us, do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, in terms of trading, I know it's part of the game. I don't really like the term trade bait if I'm being critical, but I think obviously Mitchell is probably one I think that we might have looked at last year or the year before. I don't know if they'll look to do the same, or O'Meara, maybe one of them. We've got a few of the same sort of plays, a lot of inside mids. So they may look to offload one of them. I wouldn't want to see both. Newcomb is obviously in there as well, which he's taking over the sort of the centre clearance work and probably been our best midfielder all year. So I would think one of maybe O'Meara and Mitchell if I had to pick. But as I said, I think we need some experience around this young core as well. So
yeah, I agree. It's I think look, Warple I think could be trade bait.
Yeah,
I think he could be. We're just doubling up. I hate to say, as much as I love the Warpedo, I reckon he could be trade bait. He'd be the one that I think would go potentially. So now this is I like this post, Cody. Does Grundy help our midfield? He's still rated elite in clearances and centre clearances. That's from out of the blue. I mean, they need to clear up some more salary cap. Collingwood. So we've certainly got a hell of a lot of salary cap.
We got plenty of room. With McAvoy leaving, obviously he's retiring. So fantastic career, McAvoy. Tip our hats to you, mate. That was outstanding. With McAvoy leaving, we're certainly need of a more experienced ruckman. We've got a young ruck brigade, predominantly in Reeves and Lynch, and then we know we've got Ramsden, who's making headway pretty fast at Box Hill. However, if you're going to get a player in like Grundy to possibly mentor those guys, who is arguably, when he's fit, he's arguably the first or second best ruckman, probably only behind Max Gawn in the competition.
Yep.
I would think that that's not a bad idea. I did read an article today saying that we've possibly entered that race. We've got a bit of money to spend. I don't mind that idea at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I certainly, right now we could certainly afford him. So it's not a bad idea at all. All right, mate. Quick one. Who do you think will leave next season?
I think, I can't remember who's out of contract. I think Gunston's definitely one that comes to mind who's out of contract. Yep. I think, as you mentioned, mate, he may follow Clarko to North. If he gets a couple of years there, I'd be looking to sign him, to be honest. He's had a really, really impressive last month of his season. But I know he's a free agent. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head who else is a free agent. Maybe the fans can come to my help here, guys. I can't recall. Probably Gunston's the one that would stand out if he's going to leave in free agency. But
all right. All right. So quick fire questions, mate, before we wrap up. What worked this year? What didn't?
Well, what worked was playing the youth, mate. We've uncovered some absolute gems in John Newcomb. Dylan Moore's really found his role. I thought Harry Morrison's had a pretty decent year. Even folks like C-Mac, who's had some really good performances. We've had 7 debutants, and I think our average player age, is about 24 or 24 and a half. Which is pretty young when you compare that to the rest of the competition. So I think, it was really good to see us play the youth. Mitchell's had he's transitioned the game plan very well into after last year, because Clarkson had us playing very defensive, sort of stale.
Very good. I love the attacking. Absolutely, Mitch. Now, what didn't work?
Well, centre clearance work we've already touched on. We probably struggled to win clearances really at all year. I think centre clearance work is probably one focus, and then just trying to get it down there a bit more. That probably helps with supply issue, because if we get the ball in the centre more, we're generally going to have more inside 50s. But we were very efficient when we went forward, but probably not getting it down there enough for me.
If we could get a Grundy, that would change the world, I think. Also, inside news I got from the sponsor night, Scrimshaw will be playing out of the middle going forward. They're prepping him for it. So he's got to work on getting a tank in the off-season. He's the same size and height as the Bont, except he's 6 kilos lighter. So try and put on 6 kilos and get a tank at the same time, mate. He's also 3 years younger. So, but mate, why not? It's Scrimshaw, mate. Where anytime he gets his hands on the ball, he very rarely messes it up. That would be brilliant to have a big boy like him in the middle running through. So I agree with all those takeaways. So, mate, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, Mitch, and thanks to the viewers. It was an awesome night. And also, just keep in mind, this Friday coming up, we're going to do a goodbye. We're going to wrap up the entire season. All right. So come back Friday night for the final review. We'll make the show a bit longer so we can say a longer goodbye. We also got trade. So, but stay with us after. We do have trade week, and we've got also the draft. So we've got the draft, and we may have a special guest on for the draft. So there's actually a Hawk player who wants to be a draft and actually a scout going forward, and he may apply his trade with us. We've got lots of players, current players and former players, some big names potentially coming on the show throughout the season. We may save some of the interviews for next season. But either way, it's been an amazing year, and we love you guys, and thank you for following us. Thanks for jumping on, Mitch. You saved my voice. It's awesome, mate. And hopefully Daz is okay there in Afghanistan, and he's surviving there. So anyway, thanks for viewing. Tag a mate, share it, and also thanks for following, and we'll see you guys soon.
Cheers, guys.